Hey team, back for more film review for our last regular season game here. As we head into the playoffs, let's keep in mind some of these repeated mistakes that we should be able to get rid of and instantly improve our team. Just one thing before we get started, let's consider, having lost this game by one, how important each possession is when we're talking about a tight game, and there are plenty of mistakes that we just don't need to make, and that we can get rid of with just a little bit of focus, concentration, learning from the game film, stuff like that. So let's roll right into it. I'll try to keep it moving. Deep dive when necessary, but otherwise just try to point out some ideas here. Just real quick on the first possession. I think Chris is too high here. He has a man underneath who's wide open, so Gabe is up for the man in the middle, which means Chris and Tristan, the two wings need to pinch, and so this is just way too open. Now Gabe ends up helping, and now his man is wide open. So Sammy here doesn't need to concern himself so much with the man in the middle, since that is Gabe's man. So he can prioritize being there on the closeout to number 5, and that way Chris can be down by the bucket. We can't let guys get this close to the bucket. I'm surprised number 11 doesn't go in here. Maybe he sees Gabe coming, but this is not something that we want to do, and we didn't do it. That was a first possession thing, maybe getting into the flow of the game. But again, when it comes down to one possession, we can't have these where we're not ready when the game starts or when we come into the game. This is going to be a theme here of the game. We were not really cutting on offense. It's some nice dribbling and a nice finish from Sammy. But we'll see a lot where we're just not moving on offense. We'll get back to that though. This is an important 2-3 zone concept right here. So look at number 9 on Brown. This is a really simple 2-3 zone concept. And one, a lot of teams played us 2-3. So if we're on offense against a 2-3 zone, this is a really good idea. Just setting these little screens. You don't even have to inhibit the guy that much. It's just if you make him a step or two late and you have a shooter behind this screen, their closeout is late. So, you can walk into practice jumpers this way, and he does here. So that's just the really simple 2-3 zone concept, just a screen the closeout, just a little screen on the closeout here. On defense, what we need to do, and whoever's playing this wing here, Tristan in this scenario, but whoever's playing it, we need to identify it quickly so we can see this. We can see this coming. If we have a man outside and there's another man trying to get between us and our closeout responsibility, we can identify that so we don't get taken off guard by this screen. The other thing is Tristan can fight through harder here. This needs to be a harder fight. Now I think 9 does move. It doesn't get called because I don't think he intended to move with the screen, although that really is just a moving screen. Now that I look at it, he never really got set. He just tried to. Regardless, we know the refs in this league. We're not going to rely on them to call fouls. So that this needs to be a fight through the screen here and close out. But more importantly, we need to identify it earlier so it just doesn't happen. So if we want to identify it, if I'm Tristan, if I'm setting up, I see that there's a man on the wing, there's a man in the corner, and number 9 is trying to get in between the two of us. We know the idea here, so we can so Tristan at this point, before 9 is even set, can get under him. So just a really good 2-3 zone concept to know. When we're on offense against a 2-3, we should be setting these regularly. Let our shooters just have practice jumpers, which these can create that. You can do this up top too. If a guy is sunk a little bit beneath the 3-point line, you can do this up top. Just anywhere anywhere you can screen the outside of the zone to screen a closeout. Works really well from the wings here, obviously, and also up top. So that's just something to keep in mind. And we can move on here. So once again on offense, not a whole lot of moving, not a whole lot of dribbling, not a whole lot of moving. Now, I identified this last week, and I was looking at myself, and I saw, like, I thought I was cutting last week, and then I saw the film, and I was just jogging around in the 2-3. And this is what film review is really good for. It just kind of shows you things that you might not realize. And we're just not cutting hard here. We need to work harder on offense, harder cuts, and take care of the ball. Gabe comes up with that one. That's a tough take. That's a good find from Gabe. Tough miss there. Good recovery here. I like most of this one. That's a good closeout. He hits the shot. But good recovery from everyone. Gabe and Chris talked here. So Chris is in the middle. And Gabe has the corner, and he's going to get out, and that's a good contest. I mean, if a team starts making those kind of shots over good contests, we'd probably have to get out of the 2-3. I was thinking we needed to get out of the 2-3, and then we kind of shorted up. This is a good shot from Gabe. You got to take that if they're going to give it to you. Just missed. Good job hustling back on defense. Chris needs to be way more effort here on the closeout. Can't be standing here. You got to get a hand up. Like that's an easy short too. There needs to be more effort here. That was kind of it was a theme for us. It's not as bad as it's been, but there were some effort plays, and again in a one possession game, those matter. A little sloppy here on both sides. You might have heard me yelling at Chris. Let's try not to extend the zone. We might have been doing this because has 5 already hit 2 shots? Did he hit his first or second shot there? Extending the zone creates big holes here. Like if they were to put a man baseline below Chris, it puts him in a pretty tough spot because you're then going to have a huge open gap here. I don't know if you guys can see the cursor. Let's try not to extend the zone. If there's somebody like a great shooter who we think we need to get out on, and then we probably need to change up the defense, maybe a box and one, something like that. But extending the zone is not a great idea generally because the more extended it is, the bigger the holes are. Now 3 has a nice easy time here. Good recovery. Yep, that's Chris's. Let's maybe get a hand up there. Somebody put a hand up. I mean, give him a tough 2. If you drive him off the 3-point line and make him take a 2, I like that. But, somebody get a hand up. Gotta contest shots. Good idea, good cut. Finally, we're moving around a little bit. This is a good shot from Sammy. I hate this one. So, Gilly and Tristan do a really good job getting back and contesting the transition layup, but then they don't box out, neither of them. So we need to put a body in this guy. I went the wrong way. I mean, we're just standing there looking at the ball. We got to body him up after he shoots. Good job getting back in transition, but then when we don't box out, we get a foul. That could have easily been a 3-point play. Effort plays, guys. Effort plays. Alright. Moving right along. not a whole lot of movement here. That's Gilly's shot. He loves going left over that screen. He hits that very often. This needs to be a harder closeout. And this is more. We were ready to take Chris out of the game here. There needs to be more effort here. You already know where the pass is going. It doesn't matter if you haven't seen the guy yet. This needs to be a hard closeout. 11 has already made a shot, and he's already made a shot from that spot. So this needs to be much harder. Drive him off the line. Yeah, plenty of time to recover here. Plenty of time to put up a better contest. Like, get up in his face. This will begin the theme of our transition woes. So we had a lot of trouble in transition if we didn't get the ball to a guard, giving the ball away, committing turnovers. So we might want to think about having our transition philosophy be have the primary ball handler come get the ball as fast as they can. So they're taking an angle towards whoever has the ball. We can still run, but they're taking an angle towards whoever has the ball and getting the ball from them and then running the transition. A lot of teams use that. There's basically two philosophies. There's one, just push. That means you need all ball handlers on your team. Or there's the philosophy of getting the ball handler to go get the ball and then push. And obviously it's a little slower, but we committed probably 3 or 4 turnovers in transition. So it's going to pay off to get. I mean, even if we have to slow down, we're not going to give the ball away as much. So, and this just leads to an easy bucket. So I think the exception is there might be Pete. Pete has a nice transition bucket later, and I've seen him finish in that spot plenty of times. So this is a tough pass. Got to take care of the ball here. Actually, Sammy's open here. Didn't see that before, but yeah, this is into 3 guys. That's a tough pass. I know Gilly's made good passes through that kind of defense before, but then another risky one. So just in the span of a couple seconds here with a couple turnovers. Now, I don't want to get too nitpicky as far as like saying like, oh, Gilly's trying to make a decision in a split second, and I'm sitting here on film breaking it down. I think the thing to take away from this is, when you're doing film review, you can process this now. So when you're in a game situation, you've already processed the information. You already have some information on the decision. This one's tough because even if you get it through to Sammy, he has a big guy on him. It's not necessarily a bucket. Just keeping so it's a risky pass. Again, it's a split-second decision, so we don't need to dwell on it. It's just more the overarching theme of taking care of the ball. Again, we committed a couple turnovers there in a matter of 5 seconds. That's rough. Good hands from Tristan. Getting the ball, yeah, and then getting back on D. It's good. Good help from Gilly. In an athletic stance here, hands up. Get those hands up if you're Chris. Sammy's got it. But this pass should not get by you if you're Chris. In the passing lane here, we gotta have our hands ready. Being in a 2-3 zone, you want to be in those passing lanes. This is prime position to be in. And drive him off the line. So this is okay. He gets the foul call. But I'd rather have this. I mean, you can even. So Sammy's chopping his stuff. This is a good close here. Make sure he can't take an open 3. You get back. Make sure he can't take an open 3. And then Gabe on the help. The only thing Gabe can maybe do better here is take a better angle to the basket. Or between the player and the basket, I should say. So he's going to come out to help, which is correct, obviously. get between 9 and the basket. And because he doesn't go directly between 9 and the basket, he's moving, and 9 gets the foul call. I'm surprised they call something like that. But again, we're not going to rely on the refs because we know who the refs are in this league. We're not going to rely on calls. Back it up a little bit. Gilly likes to go left, over a screen, hit shots. Oh, this one's interesting. So, the big guy here in the middle is up very high, but you have 2 guys up as well on top of him. So, Sammy and Gilly are in good position, and Gabe, I think, should go all the way up here to the free throw line because the big man is high. That means Chris and Tristan need to protect down low, and Chris makes the right decision here, I think, because obviously you don't want to give up an easy 2. So he's making the right decision to pinch down here. Now, you do leave the corner open, but I think Sammy correctly assesses it too, where he sees Chris has a man down low. And so he goes and helps very low compared to where he would normally be. So I think that's all good. Just wanted to point that out. Good stuff there. So the big man is very high, which means Gabe needs to be very high. Chris sees this maybe a little late. Maybe we want to see it a little faster. But gets into the right position. And again, good help from Sammy, recognizing that Chris is occupied with a man, down low. So, and then this pass up to number 5. So this is Gilly's help because Sammy is shifted so far over. I would like to see a hand up here from Gilly, who I know is going to watch this later because you asked me for it. So. I know you like to dive into people when they're shooting. Especially a guy who's made a shot. I'd like to see a contest. I'd like to see a hand up. Drive him off the line. Yeah, man, we have a lot on this play. And then we have the issue. So, look at Chris and Tristan here. Chris is trying to get into somebody's body. That's good. Tristan's watching. So that's what we can't do in the 2-3 zone because we're going to give up rebounds that way. We have to find a body and box out. And in this case, we give up the offensive rebound. Chris didn't stay on 9 quite long enough, and now he's a good rebounder. I think he's going to beat me for one later. And then we just give up. Good hands on the recovery from Chris. But we just give up an extra possession, which we don't need to do. So we need to find a body. We need to body somebody up. Grab that rebound. Can't give up multiple shots. Yep, drive him off the line. That's smart. This is good here from Sammy. Yeah, don't let him take an open 3. He's going to take a long 2, which mathematically is better. Grab the rebound. A good job driving him off the line. Ideally, we want to stay on him and contest the 2, but giving up a long 2 is better than an open 3. Could have shot faked there. And then this is an ambitious pass. So Sammy's going to get it back here, and this is just another turnover. We got to take care of the ball. If we just take care of the ball, this one possession game becomes a very different story. No open 3s. Would like to see Sammy body somebody up there. So he gets over his man, but he's letting 6 go by. Watching the shot here. Would like to see him body somebody up. Get bailed out. The rebound there. Did we turn it over again? What happened there? I couldn't tell. Good job getting back. What happened here, Gilly? You can't guard this guy? You can guard this guy. We're all getting back. I mean, foul. We have so many fouls to give that it's not a bad play necessarily. You know, better than an easy bucket. Don't think that's a shooting foul. Let's tie our shoes, guys, before our playoff game. Like maybe double knot them. We are the worst shoe tying team in the league by far. Good help from Chris here. Help up. Now recover. I like the help on this guy in the middle, but then we all left him. I didn't know who was playing middle there. If it's Tristan, well then he's off, so we need to see that. I don't know if Gabe moved to the wing here, but seeing that the offensive man is past Tristan, I think Gabe has to stay here. We just give him an easy bucket. That's a tough one to live with because we had him. We had the help. Everybody was there. Even Sammy down, giving a swipe. But Sammy correctly, I think, needs to go up and recover here, which he does. He's not going to stay on the man way down low. Somebody needs to stay on him. I think that's Gabe, but I'm not sure. Again, a lot of jogging around here. A lot of jogging around in the 2-3. Harder cuts. You cut hard. There's a good putback. Good work from Gabe. That's me yelling at Sammy not to extend the zone. Now, yep, Gilly recovers. That's a good contest. He makes this shot, but this is good stuff, guys. So Gilly comes up and drives him off the line, which is good, and then Gabe comes up in the middle and contests. So that's good. I mean, that's a tough two. Tough twos are good. As a defense, that's a nice contest from Gabe. As a defense, tough twos are good. Tough twos are in our favor. So, I mean, yeah, he makes that one. He has to bank it. We'll live with that. It's a good contest. Good poke, good hands, good finish. Couldn't see everything there, but good recovery, and then except to the end. I mean, we can recover well all we want. We need to, whoever's down low here needs to recover so Gilly can get back and drive number 5 off the line. So this is another instance where I would really like to see a hand up from Gilly. I know he likes this, you know, scaring people by driving into their midsection there with his head. But hand up would probably be good. Hard contest. Hard contest. If he drives in, he gets a 2, he still needs to go through Gabe or take a long jump shot. So, you know, drive him off the line. No open threes. I want those threes to be hard contests. Good job getting back, getting in front.
Okay, guys, blocking them.
We got something in transition there. Hard to see.
Okay, guys, blocking them.
Is that Chris finishing in transition again? Nope. Oh, this okay. Yeah, this was an issue here. So we just scored a bucket. Oh, is this is not what I'm? Oh, yes, it is what I'm thinking of. Okay. We just scored a bucket, and this is another effort play. So Gabe here has his back turned. We need to get back into position as soon as we can. Like they're already moving the ball down the floor, and now we scored a bucket, and they're beating us down the floor. This is just an effort play that's preventable. I know that the guys are tired. They're about to get a sub, but we're not gonna let that be our excuse, right? We lost by 1 point, so is that going to be our excuse? This just can't happen. We just scored a bucket. We need to run back on defense every possession, whether we scored a bucket or not. It needs to be running back on defense, and that's a tough bucket to live with right there. All right, so we're going to get in the second team here. All right, a couple things wrong with this first play. I'm over here in the corner. I got a big guy on me, so I'm going to shot fake. A couple problems. The first thing is I'm going to leave my feet without knowing what I'm doing with the ball, so that's mistake number one. That's on me. The other thing is look where we all are. There is nobody for me really to pass to because we're all jammed into the same side of the court. So I have no passes. I have no driving lane. Because our spacing is horrible. So when I'm making cuts, one of the things I'm focusing on is trying to find an open spot, where nobody is. But we are all over here. I can't get this ball inside. I can't get this to flip or Pete because we have 3 guys down there. Now I'm gonna go around and find a little hole here. I mean, if I'm analyzing this correctly, maybe the best thing is to just go up and take a shot here. Like I said, I leave my feet without knowing what I'm going to do with the ball, so that's my mistake. And then I just try and hand it off to Pete because I don't know what to do with it. We need much better spacing there. That becomes a turnover, so that stinks. Recover. Yep, don't let him shoot at the open 3. What happened there? Yeah. So Ivan needs to recover up here. We get bailed out by him missing the shot. On this play, I don't know who grabs who here, but I know Ivan is getting run by this guy who's flopping. But as soon as Ivan needs to be recovering here. Once he's separated from this guy, this needs to be an immediate recovery. We can't give it that open shot. That's a tough help for Lucas because that's so far off on the other side. So there needs to be an immediate recovery from Ivan. We're going to get bailed out. We're not moving a ton. Good cut from Ivan there. Not a lot of places for Pete to go there. We weren't moving great. And tough to extend. I think Lucas is extending here because he doesn't want 5 to have it. Yeah, the only thing there is we might need to get into a different defense because this is what happens when you extend the zone. So if you think we need to extend the zone against 5, then big man here has a wide open jump shot every time because you've left a huge gap in the zone. Flip needs to stay down. He has a man underneath. This is a tough one not to grab. We had 2 guys on it. We ended up giving it away. All right, so what happens here? So Ivan's coming all the way over to help up here. So I think this is where it starts. Let's back up a little more. I think Lucas is down too far here. Because even if this pass goes into number 5, Flip can recover. So I think Lucas is down too far here. It's tough. You have 3 guys down low. So maybe not. That might not be Lucas. This might just be, honestly, it might just be a good spacing against a 2-3 zone. Or a good formation. So Ivan's going to come over here for the help, which he just doesn't want him to get an open shot. So once this pass goes away, though, so Ivan needs to jet back to the other side. Kind of does now. If he's a step or two faster, then I don't need to help there. Now, maybe I shouldn't help anyway because, oh yeah, there's a guy right there, isn't there? Yeah, so that's not... Sorry, guys, I'm analyzing this one on the fly. It looks like I probably helped when I shouldn't have, and that created a bucket. Take from Flip. Scoring the tough buckets as he often does. Yeah, once again, extending the zone here this far. I mean, you're just going to create big holes. You recover, though. You recover, get out. Yeah. Recover. And this might be overhelped by me again. Because I got a man down there. Of course, once the ball switches, Pete can come over to get between 9 and the basket. But especially once Ivan's there, I probably need to back off. And then we get bailed out here, but once these guys are accounted for, well, maybe Flip sees that Pete's on number 9, so I think we just need to talk so Flip can get back, because this is not a shot we want to allow, since a lot of guys are going to make that. Yeah, we can go back on that one. I want to reiterate, guys, that you can correct me if I'm wrong on anything if I think my analysis is incorrect. Yeah, probably a lot of things going on here. I think Ivan being down makes sense since there's only one guy up top, which allows Pete to be on 9, and that means Flip can guard his cutter. I have a guy over in the corner too. Probably good spacing. Good spacing from the offense, make us talk and make decisions. Yeah, I think we just need to talk here. We need to let Flip be on his guy. We need to let Flip guard that cutter. So, on this one, I might overhelp here. So he gets an angle on Pete, but with a shooter in the corner, I'm completely inside the key. So this might be overhelp. My idea is if I was going to help, I didn't want to give the the flimsy help where I just throw an arm out there. I wanted to get between him and the basket, but thinking about this, I was thinking about this play. And I think the correct thing for me to do is trust Pete to make the big man score a hard 2, so I don't give up an open 3. So I can be in the passing lane here instead of being the man in the basket. I'm not sure if I'm wrong about that. Let me know if this is the correct help. Let me know. He makes the proper pass, and then I'm just. And this is what I'm talking about with hard closeouts. I try to practice what I preach. So, guy out there, made sure he didn't have an open 2. Here comes more transition woes from us. So this is what I was talking about in our team thread. We either need to get the ball to a guard. I think Lucas needs to sprint here. He's the primary ball handler on the floor. So once Ivan gets that, I think he needs to sprint with us. So if we're going to push it, I think Ivan needs to see that I have a head of steam and I'm steps ahead of him. I had an angle on 5, so a lead pass would have been good. Eventually, he's just going to slow it down. But if you're going to slow it down, it needs to be 2 hands and chin it. So put the ball under your chin, elbows down, protect the ball, and just find a good clean pass to a ball handler if you're going to slow it down so we can reset. But he ends up getting it poked from behind. So that's more transition game stuff where we need to just we need to take care of the ball. We had too many of those. More shoe tying. Good communication here. Pete's going to take over. So I have the big man, but now Pete's going to take him, and I'm going to slide down to the cutter. Yeah, good hands, good steal. And this is where, so this is where, even though we didn't get a fast break, at least we're not turning it over. So now the ball handler has it, and we can set up. Not much going on. Ivan's going to get open here, and going to get rewarded for it. Okay, so what happened here? So Flip's helping up, but I think Lucas is up on 5. So we've seen 5 make a couple of shots. 10 doesn't seem to be a shooter. I suppose that's why Lucas is where he is, but I think so we need to communicate that as a team if that's how we're playing, because it's almost like we're playing box and 1 here, but we didn't know that we were playing box and 1. So Lucas needs to recover over to number 10 because Flip needs to get down. Pete has a man in the middle. So Ivan can stay on 5, or really he can stay in a position where he can close out to 5 or 11. So I think Lucas needs to get over here because Flip is helping because he doesn't see anybody on number 10. But he needs to be down. Not his fault, I don't think. I think Lucas needs to be on 10 here. Like if we're this needs to be a new game plan needs to be communicated to everybody. So Lucas or we can let everybody know, like, hey, we can't leave 5 alone. That way Ivan will know, so Lucas can be on 10, and Ivan can be over, and he knows that he doesn't want to leave 5. But it looks like Lucas is playing man here. And then it leads to an easy drive. Easy drive and bucket. It's just not good there. Oh, we gonna not get this rebound? That's gonna happen? That's tough, big man. Gotta box him out the best we can. Just get low on him. He's bigger than us, just get low. Okay, here's where I'm gonna do a really dumb thing. So this guy's gonna pass fake, and I'm gonna go to nowhere. And leave an open pass down the middle here. So don't bite on pass fakes. We get bailed out because Pete makes a nice block and then in transition. Takes him about 5 steps to get down the court. Thanks for bailing me out, Pete. Keep it rolling here. And then this needs to be a harder closeout. We need to. So he's passing in number 11 here. So Lucas is going to go to number 11, and then Ivan, as soon as the ball is released, we know where the ball is going. Doesn't matter if it doesn't. doesn't see who it is yet. We need to be going to where the ball is. So this needs to be a faster reaction. I was guilty of this last game where I saw on film where I would look at the pass and then look to who it was going to before I closed out, and there's just no reason to do that. We know where the ball is going. This needs to just be a hard contest. It needs to be a hard recover and just a harder contest, especially with a good shooter. But even if he's just a regular shooter, that needs to be harder. More effort on our recoveries and our contests. A tough take. Good job getting back. That's a good shot from Danny. It's a good steal from Danny. And then I'm going to make a bad decision in transition here. More transition woes. This is a good steal, and Danny does the right thing here. He has two guys on him. Now, I was running down the court with the intention, like, oh yeah, I'm hitting a transition three right here. And it's a fine mentality, except I also need to analyze the court. I need to see that there are already two guys back, so we don't have numbers. And so I'm shooting this without thinking, without analyzing. And so it just turns into this is a bad shot, which is just as good as a turnover. It's the same thing as a turnover. So, my fault, guys. What happened there? So Lucas was following 5 way down. Now he needs to recover. He got bailed out there. So I'm gonna find Lucas. I need to be running. And I'm gonna miss a shot here. So it's a good setup from Lucas. I should make that. And then more transition moves. So. Again, it's okay to slow it up if you got two guys on you. It is okay to slow it up. Just protect the ball and get it to a ball handler. Good recover from Flip there. Good recover for the block from Pete. Probably want to see this a little earlier if you're Pete, because you do have middle help. But nevertheless, good job. Good job getting in Five's face there. More good defense from Flip. Okay, so what happens there? That's too easy. Okay, so this might be my help. So Flip's on the ball. Lucas comes down to number 5. I think this, I don't know if this is my help because it's the other side of the floor. Danny could be a little further away from this guy, but I think that's irrelevant. I think I need to be more under the basket so Pete can step up, because I think this is still Pete's help in the middle. Or we just need to talk. But again, so sorry guys, again, I'm analyzing on the fly. But since middle here, the other thing is Lucas could be on middle because Flip can take both the inbounder and the closeout. As long as we're quick on it, as long as we understand that we're closing out as soon as the ball leaves, and we don't need to look to see where the ball's going. As soon as the ball leaves, as long as Flip is recovering to the corner, I think he can recover on number 5, which means Lucas can come down because they're all so low. So Lucas can come down on number 3. So that's my. So I think I need to be closer to the basket. Pete can stay where he is, I guess, and I think Lucas can take the big man here. So if you're guarding the inbounder here like Flip, I think it's fine to leave number 5 as long as we all have the understanding that if we're playing the wing here, if this is me or Flip guarding the ball or anybody else playing the wing, Pete, Gabe, Chris, Tristan, like we have inbounder and corner. So if it's a quick pass to the corner, it's just a hard recovery and closeout. I think that makes the most sense from a strategic standpoint. Again, I'm open to differences here if we can support them. Oh, I didn't even realize Danny got some decent help on there. That's too easy, though. Can't give that up. Another tough pass. And then getting back in transition here, so we don't need to hang our heads. So Pete's getting back. That can be a little more aggressive. Get on number 9. Make sure he cannot get that rebound. And I shouldn't get that rebound on Pete. Or I got bailed out again. I should be running. All right, I end up open, but I should be running. We should be cutting. Number 9 beats me there. Now I get into him, so I see number 9 coming through, and so I body him up. I actually don't know what went wrong here, except maybe I just need to go for the rebound harder. I'm just trying to get him out. He just reaches over me. Don't think it's over the back. It seemed pretty clean, especially in this league. Again, not gonna look for a bailout call there. Let's go back to the previous play before he got me, though. So once again, Lucas on number 5. I think Lucas needs to recover to number 1, and Danny comes over to number 5. I think that's just how a 2-3 zone rotates. And that way, Flip here can get down after helping on number 1. Lucas gets back to number 1. Flip rotates down. I think Flip needs to rotate harder down here. This is a kind of a half-hearted rotate down, and then 9 gets in there. So if Flip got down in between the 9 and the basket, now he has to go through multiple people to get this board. So this is a good shot from 3. I don't know how he missed so many of these. Yeah, I'm again not giving myself any excuse for not getting that rebound. Leads to more foul shots for them. It's a bummer. And I think this is the end of the half. He's going to miss the second one, but then the half is over. All right, guys, again, I apologize for some of the raw quality, for some of the analysis on the fly. I just wanted to take a look at the video. The big thing for us was taking care of the ball. Too many bad turnovers. We need to cut harder on offense. We need to move and play harder on offense. We're not giving whoever has the ball, whether it be a ball handler or Pete down low, we're not giving them anything good to look at, any good passes. We did not cut a lot. So we need way more effort on offense. Again, not force those passes, not force it in transition, take care of the ball. And the third one, there was less of it this time around, but the effort plays are still there. Again, in a one-possession game, if we have a handful of effort plays, that really stinks. Because those are things we can control. All right, so I'll call this a vid. I'll upload it, and I'll do the second half later. Thanks, guys.